the portrait way. Hey everyone, good morning. Let me see if I can. It's not gonna let me go sideways.
Oh no.
Should I? I'm gonna end it and come right back, everyone.
Are you able to come back onto it, the same one?
Not the same one, no. I gotta close it out and completely restart.
If that's what you want to do, or just do it that way. Can you?
We could do it this way.
Can you just move your little doodad?
Yeah.
You want to hold it?
I got it. There we go. We're on portrait mode today. Just gotta lock it in place. All right. It's always something. Of course, I just set this whole thing up as if we were going.
If you're going portrait.
Yeah. So we will adjust. All right. Let's see how we can move all these things. I actually really like this little black pad because I can just move the whole block.
Okay, this guy just said a verse. 15.
Who's this guy and what's the verse?
Well, it popped up on your notification.
Are you stealing my chair? Let me grab a chair, everyone. We're in the process of setting that, but we'll be getting going here in a second.
Oh, wait.
Normally, I film my video early in the morning and I'd be done right about now, so a lot of this will kind of already be set up. But this morning I woke up and I actually had some pain in my left eye that I haven't had since my car accident. If y'all haven't been following, I had a car accident in January that I actually lost vision in my eye for about 12 hours. There's a whole long story with that, but
Casper's in the chat.
What's up? Overall, I had some pain in my left eye, listened to my body, went back to sleep. So the video that I was planning on putting out today to finalize my Foundations of Wealth series is going to be coming out tomorrow. But I still have a interview podcast style live later today at 3 p.m. with Kalilo. 3 p.m. Texas time, that is. When we were setting this up, he said 1 p.m. And I guess I didn't realize he's on West Coast time area. What's that called?
It's called like a
time zone. That's right. Just waking up, everyone.
Just
waking up.
Okay, Bruce Miller was in the chat earlier, and he said 1 John 5, chapter 5, verse 11 through 12, and that's what it says. And this is the testimony: God has given us eternal life, and this life is in his Son. Whoever has the Son has life. Whoever does not have the Son of God does not have life. Amen to that.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Thank you, Bruce, for sharing that verse this morning. All right, everyone.
Get your coffees ready. We got our coffee here. My wife made my coffee this morning. What'd you put in it today?
So we've got brown sugar, a splash of vanilla bean dust, and we ran out of heavy whipping cream. So you got a tablespoon of butter.
Oh, all right. It's delicious.
Oh, thanks. That's what's in the cup today.
Awesome. If y'all don't know, on josephsreserves.com, we have these mugs for sale, as well as a bunch of other merchandise, and our own coffee, the It's Today Again coffee. That's at josephsreserves.com. Oh, Training with the Lions is in the chat. I haven't seen you in a couple months, it feels like, Training with Lions.
Well, he was saying that go to a retina consultants of Texas in the Woodlands. Okay. We will go check. Yeah. He went, like, when he was having all these appointments and stuff, we went to the VA
Yeah, the
and
VA ophthalmologist.
yeah, and like she was fantastic. She did
Yeah.
all the retina tests. Maybe we do just need to go back. It's
I
been
probably
about
need to
6
go back.
months.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trading with Lions, for suggesting that.
Yes, thank you.
It is very early. All right, everyone is saying good morning in the chat.
Good morning. Good morning.
And let's get to it.
Yeah, let's. If y'all got any questions, go ahead and throw it in the chat. That's usually what we do, is pretty much a Q&A style. So any questions will kind of guide the conversation. If not, I do have some topics to talk about, but I want to see if we could sprinkle those in rather than just get through them. So
The reason why you haven't seen Trading with Lions recently is he bought a new car and had to divert funds for a while.
Oh man.
Okay, that's
good. That's a good
That's
thing.
legit though.
Yeah. That happens. That's part of stacking, right? Sometimes you need to have your stacking fund go somewhere else so that you don't have to take away from your stack to make those payments later, right? It's easy to say, no, I'm doing this no matter what, and then you put yourself in a financial bind where you have to sell some metals to get out of that financial bind, when it's a lot more efficient to just pause buying for some time, take care of your financial needs, and then resume buying when you can.
Yeah.
So super smart. Definitely the more, I guess I would want to say the more proper, but really the most efficient way to do that is when you have a large purchase coming up or a large purchase that has to be handled. Make sure you take care of that, hopefully with cash and not with your metals. That way you won't have to use the metals for something else later.
Super EROQ just says, I'm celebrating paying off all debt.
Wow,
Dude,
congratulations.
yes.
That is awesome. That's awesome. That's a
rapid.
huge milestone. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but we're close.
We're close.
Yeah. We're almost there with you. That's awesome. I can actually see a lot of the chat this time now that it's portrait.
That's even better.
It doesn't go away. In landscape, it like pops up and then goes away, but now it's just kind of staying right here.
Okay.
So,
well, Casper is also in the chat, and he said, "What is your favorite junk silver to stack?"
Oh, my favorite junk silver.
Are you guys ready for a treat?
See, so I really like the Liberty series, right? That would be Mercury Dimes, Walking Liberty, and Standing Liberty. The thing is, though, the Standing Liberty is always in such poor condition that that it's really hard to find like a really nice example. And often I find Barber quarters in a better example than most of the Standing Liberties. So I feel like as soon as I say, oh, I really like this one, I think about the series right before and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one. And then right before that, oh yeah, that's a good series. So honestly, I'm a typeset person. And
yeah,
I really like the idea of a typeset and going back as far as you can in types. But if I had to pick one, I'd say the Liberty series, because it's so available and because it's easy to find relatively, right? Of course, you're going to find Roosevelt's, Franklin's, and Washington quarters. No matter where you go, they're going to have it.
I also love the history behind it, though.
Right.
And, like, the story that's going on, not even about the coin itself or the typeset. It's more about, like, the history and time in that moment. And then you just go full ham into, like, researching, well, what was it like day to day? What was going on? Was there war? Was there this?
Yeah.
And
so here I have a Walking Liberty here. This is the nicest example that I have, and I almost didn't want to say I have it because this is actually property of the company that I'm starting. So this one is actually for sale. Once I get my online website, it will be going for sale.
Dibs.
But what I love about Walking Liberties is that they started in response to World War One. This series, the whole Liberty series, did 1916 in response to World War One. They wanted to put a more clear picture of liberty, of Lady Liberty, and everything that Liberty I guess, symbolizes on the coinage again to spread the patriotism of the people that carried the money, right? And before this, the only full-bodied picture we had of Lady Liberty was seated. And I feel like this was a representation of when we joined World War One. Liberty itself got up and walked for us. This is liberty on a move during World War One, and she didn't stop moving until after World War Two. And I feel like this is the perfect ideology that we, as a country, even today, should still be behind. The idea of liberty in our favor, moving for us. And I don't know, just the walking liberty coinage is so powerful. And I think that's why, or at least I think that's why I am happy that it is on the American Silver Eagle. Of course, I agree with a lot of people in the space that the U.S. Mint should be doing a lot more. The U.S. Mint should be doing fractional silver, should be doing different designs of silver, different coins.
You're saying the government always does exactly what you want it to do?
No. That's not. I didn't say that at all.
Oh.
I said that people often want more from the government than what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. So if I had to pick one denomination, one series, I'd pick half dollars.
Wayne says,
Walking
boy,
Liberties.
she must be tired after walking all those years. Next level, Forrest Gump.
But to give an example of how types is really what I do, the only other graded half dollar I have is this capped bust. It happens to be an overdate, but that's not really what I was looking for. Not this specific overdate. I was looking for a nice quality example of a capped bust. This is before we went to 90% silver. This is actually 89.24% silver. It's the original silver alloy laid out in the Coinage Act of 1792. And that's the type of history that I really like, how coinage changed over time. So there was a big change in 1837 and then another in 1873. So there's really there's a couple more within this that can show more change over time in the Seated Liberty series. And that's why I really like the idea of a typeset. So that's my my 90% spiel. But what I'm getting at really is more collecting. We're talking about stacking. Really, any 90% for a stack is going to be considered the same, right? 5 dimes is going to cost the same amount as a half dollar, and you're going to get the same offer for it. So when it comes to stacking 90%, I really like quarters and dimes of anything really. Quarters and dimes give you the most diversibility, I guess, the most divisibility, because the dimes is the smallest form, so you now have a fraction of a tenth of a dollar, right? But the quarter is 0.25, meaning it adds another decimal, so you can make 35 cents, you can make 45 cents every different denomination across with the extra decimal in there. If you need to make 30 cents, you use 3 dimes. 35 cents, a dime and a quarter, right? So if I was saying that you wanted to find the best use case for your 90%, dimes and quarters is definitely the better way to go. And people don't really like quarters because they're kind of boring. They only have the Washington series to really collect. And excuse me, unless you
Water?
no, I was burping.
Oh.
Unless you are really fond of the super worn down standing liberties, then quarters feel boring. But I mean, if you're stacking for the silver, it should really feel boring. You shouldn't have too much emotion attached to those, especially if in your area people can spend 90% silver. You want that to be boring. You want to be able to exchange hands easily and quickly, which actually that's something that my company is going to start working on heavily. Is reaching out to businesses around in the area to offer them a great buyback program so that they can accept silver as payment in their business.
100%. Elder Joshua says we totally missed the I would walk 5,000.
Oh man. Yeah.
I would walk 5,000
5,000
more.
Is it 500?
Or 500,
500
yeah.
miles and
Yeah.
500 more to be the one who walked 1,000 miles.
Okay.
That's Lady Liberty.
That's Lady
She be
Liberty.
walking for us.
Oh, man. That's too funny.
But 1,000 miles wouldn't get you all the way across the country.
No.
Nope.
But she's power walking.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's going.
Mm-hmm. West Texas Stacker said, what's stacking?
What is stacking? Really, stacking is putting one thing on top of another, right? But the way we use it here is putting something aside for a later date and slowly adding to it, right? So here I have these 5-ounce Scottsdale buttons. They're one of my favorite part of my collection. But if you were to buy a 5-ounce round and then another month from now or whenever you can buy, you buy another one. And then you buy another one and another one. And you continue doing this process until this becomes some sort of money for you. This becomes a savings account or something you can pass on. This becomes something that you can use as capital for later investments or anything like that. Stacking, when it comes, really the way I say stacking versus collecting. Collecting would be, it doesn't matter too much what the cost is or what the buyback is because I want that thing, right? This would be something I bought because of collecting. I don't want a whole bunch of proof Libertads, right? I'm not going to stack proof Libertads because they're a high premium. The buyback isn't as great, meaning that the difference between how much I spent and what I could liquidate it for is high. This is something I would collect. I just wanted one of them. I wanted a 5-ounce Libertad. I don't have a drive to get a whole lot of them. But something like this, the premium, meaning the price I pay over spot price, was relatively low. And the buyback would be pretty high, close to that premium I spent. So this would be an efficient stacking round. And here I have some examples of American Silver Eagles, Mexican Libertads, British Britannias, and Canadian Maples. These all have different amounts of demand, meaning which drives the premium. They have different variety of premium and thus a different variety of buyback depending on which local area you are shopping in and selling in. And that difference between the premium and the buyback is what a lot of people refer to as the spread. You want to stack silver with a very low spread. The closer you could get to selling it at your buyback price, the more efficiently this stack can count as money, right? The idea is if you go to a bank, you can get $100 bill for $100. When you take it back to the bank, you get $100 worth of value out of that $100 bill. That is I almost said a perfect money, but it's a perfect example of what money should be, right? The issue with the dollar is that it is losing value over time, and that is a whole totally different topic. But if these were to act as a perfect money, we would be able to spend them at the silver value, and we'd be able to purchase them at the silver value and sell them or spend them at the silver value. Unfortunately, there's a cost to making them. There is collector demand. There are things that raise the price above that silver spot price. And then people who are exchanging it for dollars need to run their business and make it feasible for them to operate. So their costs create a buyback situation that that will allow them to stay in business and allow you to liquidate your stack. So each product has its own buy and sell spread, and based on that buy and sell spread, something can be more of a collectible item versus a stackable item. If anyone has anything to chime in on that topic, let me know. Just throw it in the comments. If you have any more questions about clarity on that, definitely throw your questions in the comments.
Training with Lions asked a question before this question. I didn't see it until right this second.
Okay.
And he had asked, are you going to have a real storefront or just an online store?
It is going to be both. The online store is probably going to go live first. So with online, all I needed was a POS system. Really, all I needed was a website. But the POS system is through a company called Arrayus. And we have that all set up. It's going to be live in a couple days. But they connect it automatically to an online store for me. So anything I add to my inventory in this POS system, which if people don't run businesses or know about a POS, it's just a process of sales. It's the computer that you see every cashier typing on, and it tracks all inventory and receipts and all that. Whenever I buy something from the public or from anywhere, add it to my inventory, it'll automatically upload to online. So once that is fully in motion, the online portion will be live. That could happen in the next couple days. The next step is getting a location so we can be a physical brick and mortar shop. Right now we're in negotiations over a lease. We should be signing that over the next couple days. And then once we sign, there's construction involved. So it should be about 2 weeks before we actually open our doors. And Training the Lions, I know you are very local. That's going to be in Conroe. We're going to be right off 105, right by Lake Conroe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the plan the next 2 weeks to a month for us. It's very exciting. Lots of moving parts, lots of paper trail stuff that needs to be done. But we are very close. We've been working on this for almost 2 months now, right? And we're going to be opening up here soon.
Praise God for that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's just been, I always say like a snowball, because like once it starts, like once God starts providing, and you've just been praying about it, like it just snowballs into so fast and avalanche style. And we're just trying to be like, okay, what's next? Oh, boom. Like before you can even get it out of your mouth, it's already like the next thing is happening and it's already done, and he just keeps providing. And so it's really cool. Just Mike says, when I think of POS, I think something else, but that's just more about me. Us too. That's why it's like, you have to clarify.
Yeah, we've had to combat that even with our speaking at home. Like, oh yeah, this POS. And we're like, whoa, what? Like, oh, no, sorry, the Arrayus, the process of sales. Arrayus is the company that's providing that service for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've definitely had those same conversations.
Okay, so that's all right. So Don't Be Fooled said he had a question. What's your opinion on 1990 gold eagles instead of 1990? The use of Roman numerals. You work at a coin shop. Do people like these?
Oh, so the Roman numerals on gold eagles. I have some. Here we go. This is a 1/4 ounce.
Do you need a splash of coffee?
Yeah, it would be great.
Do you want more butter or
just coffee? Here's this one's from 1991. Yes, 1991. Let me see if I can zoom in. It's not letting me focus. There we go. 1991, and it has the Roman numerals. Let me see if I can get a pointer here. That's all right. Y'all can see it. It has the Roman numerals instead of just the date. To me, I think this is super cool. But I'm a collector mindset, meaning that I like to buy things that are slightly different. I like to spend a little bit of extra money if necessary for things like this. Unfortunately, the stacker community, at least in my area, doesn't care. It could be a Roman numeral or a regular, I guess is it Greek? No, not Greek letters. What's Arabic? Yeah, I think so.
It's
the Arabic
the
numbers.
I was just learning about that in lessons.
We homeschool our kids, so my kids were just learning about the difference.
Yeah.
So it could have either type of date, and it'll be the same price. So me personally, I think this, if you're putting together like a typeset, this could be considered its own type. They changed how they did something on the coin. I would get a Roman numeral, a regular, would you say Arabic lettering, and then a type 1 and type 2. So there's technically 3 types for the gold eagles. Aramaic?
Aramaic?
I think Aramaic.
Yeah.
That sounds more right. Sounds like what I'm used to hearing. So I know what you're talking about, and unfortunately, I think I have another one here too. Unfortunately, they don't generate any extra premium. This is a 88. You can tell quickly from the last number, right? All the beginning is going to be the same, the 1980 or 1990. All this is going to be the same.
It actually looks good when you like
good.
move it in the background.
The last one is all I need to look at to tell what year it is, because I believe 1991 was the last year they did it. So this is a 88. You can see the V and 3 I's there to be 8, and then the CI, meaning I think C is 10, right? Oh, it'd be XC, right? So C would be 100, XC would mean 90, and then XCI is 91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's like math and subtraction that's going on.
Right. So I personally like these, but I'm more of like a date run person and typeset person. So that's why I like them. I like to see how things change over time. But the general population of stackers, this is exactly the conversation we were getting into before, collectors versus stackers. There's not a whole difference because collectors often stack and stackers often collect, right? But in the collectability eye, there's really no difference. So in the premium realm, there's no difference.
Yeah.
I just realized I'm showing off this China gold, and I'd rather have something else there.
Old Silver Dog, he says, I thought POS meant piece of silver.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
I like that better too.
I feel like Old Silver Dog is just a cute old man that I just want to hang out with. I don't know why I said that out loud. Now I'm embarrassed.
Just awkward pause.
No, it was just so
anyway.
awkward. I'm going to go cry because that was super awkward.
What do y'all think about the Roman numerals versus, I guess we're calling it Aramaic numbers?
Should I go open up the lessons and see? I just taught that a few weeks ago. Okay.
Here's the more important question. Would you pay more if it was a Roman numeral coin?
The thing is does it add fanciness to it? Kind of. Does it is it like, oh my gosh, I would rather have this than that? Maybe. If you're particular.
The thing is, in most cases, what I see at the shop I'm at is, let's say there's a coin and it's a 1 ounce gold, 4% over spot for a gold eagle. And then you put another gold eagle next to it, and it's still 4% if one is the Aramaic numbers and one is the Roman numerals. People might pick the Roman numeral just because they like it, but that's not always the case either. And that's at the same price. So if I said, oh, this is a 0.25% over spot, and this one's actually 4% over spot, and this is a 4% and a quarter, so 4.25% over spot, I guarantee you no one's buying that other one. No one's buying the higher priced one. Even if I said, oh, it's $30 more. All right, yeah. $30 would be closer to 1%, but $10 more is a 0.25%. People don't want to spend $10 for.
I mean, it comes down to,
for numbers.
Do you want variety? And if you already have a whole bunch that don't have, like, this is your first Roman numeral one, then maybe, oh, okay, yeah, you know what? I'll get it because I don't have it.
Yeah.
But then also, there's people that are very particular, and they're like, ew.
And they're like, ew. Yeah. Some people.
It's just.
Some people even don't want. If I was to put a regular one next to a proof one, if they stack regular ones and all they have is regular ones, they're looking at this proof one as a liability. I have to keep it in its capsule. I got to keep it separate. It's different. It's this. At the same price, the regular one, if that's what they have, will sell better. If they're a collector and they want a little bit of everything and they have variety in their stack, then maybe they'll get the proof. Maybe. But even then, it's at the same price. So it doesn't benefit me at all, whichever one you get. So at this point, as a shop owner or shop worker, I don't even care the difference. Right? Yeah. And that's even more so with the Roman numerals. People care significantly less than even if it's a proof.
Just Mike says, I picked up a Roman numeral 10th and quarter in a random date purchase online.
Nice.
Like I hit the lottery. I was so excited.
Okay. Yeah. See, like
it tickled his fancy about it.
okay. Right, but the thing is, it was in the random date, so that shows you whoever was selling it also didn't think anything of it.
Yeah. So I was like, huh.
Right, but as a collector, in the collector mindset, and you want something that is gonna, oh, maybe this one's a little bit fancier because it's a little different, then yeah.
Yeah.
But would you have paid more to make sure you got that one? I don't know. Not sure.
Not sure. Awkward silence.
Awkward silence. Let's see.
We're looking at the comments. There's no current questions at the moment.
No current questions. Well, the questions kind of led into the topic I was planning on talking about when there was no questions.
Well, then go ahead.
I was talking about I was going to talk about the shop and stuff. So we ended up going there anyway, but that was my topic for the day. Let me see what other stuff I got laying here we could talk about. A large piece of my, or I guess a part of my stack that I want to be a larger piece is these 20 francs, the Latin Monetary Union stuff, and the British sovereigns. These are all 20 francs. This is a 10 franc here. I really enjoy 90% gold and 22 karat gold more so than alloyed silver, because these are treated closer to the bullion product than junk silver is. So these are purchased, at least at my shop I'm currently working at, they're buying these at 95% of spot. And that is anything that's not pure with the exception of eagles. So Krugerrands are also that way, 95% of spot. And anything that comes across that it could be a 50% gold commemorative coin, which we did buy one this week. Anything that is alloyed, we would buy it at 95% of its spot price. The really cool thing is that there's not a whole lot of demand for these. People prefer the easy to calculate troy ounce products, quarter ounce, 10th ounce, things like that. And that means that because there's not much demand, these sell for a much lower premium. We sell these for a 3% premium no matter what the size. So because of that, the spread on these become way more efficient than the equivalent fractional sizes. If I was to compare directly a British sovereign, which is this coin here, a British sovereign is almost exactly 8 grams of 22 karat. It's actually 7.99 grams, but we'll call it 8 grams for now. That means that it contains 0.2345 ounces of gold. Or no, that's actually closer to the $5 coin. It's no, I was right. 2354. That's what it is. 2354 ounces of gold. And if I compare that to an eagle, a quarter ounce eagle, this is approximately 8.5 grams of 22 karat gold. So it's more accurately 8.49, right? But the idea is that there's an 8 gram of 22 karat gold difference. This is exactly 0.25 ounces of gold. This is 0.2345. So in ounces of gold, it's 0.015-ish.
Mike's heading out.
Thanks for coming, Just Mike. We'll see you later. The difference in gold is only 15 thousandths of an ounce between these two products. But this one would sell for a 3% premium, and this one would sell for an 8% premium. So that extra 15 thousandths of an ounce is costing you quite a lot when you go into modern bullion fractional. Not only is that premium extreme, when we buy them back, a quarter ounce right now, we're buying back at 97% of spot, and this is 95% of spot. So the buyback is only a 2% difference, while the purchasing is a 5% difference. So the spread that I was talking about, collector versus stacking, the spread is significantly tighter on alloyed gold coins. Where when you look at junk silver, alloyed silver coins, that spread is a lot wider or similar.
Train with Lion says fractional gold is best for me. I like the 2.5 peso. And
2.5 pesos, a great option.
Wayne Hurd says, I see more and more videos now advertising stickers to move to fractional gold.
Advertising stackers.
Stackers.
Advertising stackers to move to fractional gold. That's the thing, is fractional gold is a lot more, I guess.
And then he also went on to say, when times get hard, the smaller coins will be much more affordable and easy to move.
Absolutely. That's what people realized in this $5,000 bump, is that the fractional gold will soon be, or I guess the 1 ounce gold will soon be out of reach for a larger population of people. Not only that, but more, even today, buying 2 1 ounce gold coins is very close to $10,000 because premiums. There's going to be a point where 2 ounces of gold is $10,000, and people are not going to be buying 2 ounces in one purchase. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, there's an IRS form 8300 that requires you to notify the IRS anytime you spend $10,000 in cash. That documentation has a definition of what cash is, or which products are considered cash, and what is not cash. So a lot of people, in order to not file that document, will purchase just under that.
Yeah.
I'm not able to.
Catcoms in
No
the
one is
chat.
allowed to structure deals for you, telling you, hey, buy this and then buy this with these amount of money, but or these types of processing funds is not considered cash, right? It's actually highly illegal to do that for someone, so I can't publicly talk about that much. But the idea is that at $10,000, it becomes a significant problem for a shop to sell. So products like the 100-gram bar, that no matter what we do, we can't sell it at $10,000 because has $13,000 worth of gold. We're not going to be selling it at, what would that even be? 70% a spot, right? So there's a problem with selling that to the retail market, and it has to become a wholesale product at that point. So the buyback comes down significantly when we're locked into only selling it to wholesale. Now, there are times people are okay with filing that paperwork, and it's honestly, in my opinion, as a business, I'm going to be doing it every time I go to wholesale. So it's becoming less so a problem, other than the fact that if you're a stacker and an independent person, having the IRS know, hey, this person buys precious metals. This person might have a whole lot of value in this gold and silver, and it'll be easier for them to be notified about when you sell it and the capital gains and taxes associated with that. That's why a lot of people are anti that 8300 form. And my whole point to this topic was gold will soon get, a 1 ounce gold will quickly get to a point where people are not going to be wanting to buy it because it's going to get so close to that 10,000. They're going to be buying more fractional gold. And I feel like the industry as a whole is understanding this idea, and that's why there's a bigger push for fractional gold. Me personally, I've seen a larger drive towards the 1/4 ounce. It skipped over the 1/2 ounce. For some reason, there's very little demand for the 1/2 ounce. I think people who are buying 1/2 ounce gold, even they realize it'd be a lot easier to wait another saving period and get a whole ounce. Or they might add a little bit more money and end up with 2 coins rather than 1. So I think the 1/4 ounce is the next natural kind of position for fractional gold, or for the standard, main type of gold product. I think fractional gold, the 1/4 ounce specifically, is where people are going to be driven to the most. If we look at my comparison with the sovereign and even the $5 gold coin, these were the coins that circulated the most. If you look at mintages, the $5, the sovereign, even the 20 franc, that's about 1/5 of an ounce of gold, those were the standard size of large spendable gold. That is the natural kind of size for gold to be actually transactable. So that's another thing that even history points directly at, around this 1/4 ounce size. I think the 1/4 ounce, and if you want to do metric or bars, the 5 gram, which I do have one, 5 gram is also a really good size. It's 0.16 ounces. and today I think that's about $600. I want to say maybe $625, maybe probably that's the spot price, maybe $650 or $675 depending on the premium at the time. But 5 gram is also going to be a very standard size. I think 5 gram rounds would be really, really interesting to see how that would move in the market.
We got tons of new friends in the chat.
What's up, new friends?
Domitra Vaughn. Oh, he was the crab leader last week. He's
All right. Bringing some crabs, maybe.
No, he's just waving, saying, hey, John.
Oh, what's up? What's up?
Capcom said sell one at a time, so you don't have to. Never mind. We don't want to get shadow banned.
Well, hold on. If you're talking about selling does not require, if you, a person, are selling to a shop, the $10,000 rule is no longer applied. The $8,300 is only when spending cash, right? So if you spend cash at $10,000, $8,300. What you're talking about selling is the 1099B. That only goes into effect if you sell the exact form and quantity of metal that satisfies a delivery of a futures contract. Whole lot of words to say, if it does not satisfy a futures contract, it does not require a 1099. The 1099 or the futures contract is exclusively, if we're talking about gold, exclusively kilobars if you sell 3 kilobars at a time, or if you sell one 100-ounce bar of gold, right? So no one is going to be selling that much. If you do, you're at another level. And the 1099B, it shouldn't be that big of a deal for you. But
you have a whole video about this, right?
I do. I have multiple videos about these topics specifically. So when you are selling, if anyone is telling you to not sell $10,000 or more, they have no idea what they're talking about. The $8,300 is only when you bring cash to a business. There are specific words in there that says when a person doing business, meaning a person who regularly buys and sells for profit, if a person doing business receives $10,000, then the person doing business is required to file a 8,300 on the other person, right? So if a business is telling you that they cannot accept over $10,000 of value, or they cannot pay you $10,000 for whatever you bring in because there's an IRS form, then point out to them that if that was the case, then you, the seller, the individual, would be the one filing it. So they clearly don't understand that form.
No comprende.
Right.
So Capcom says, so buy one at a time.
As a buyer, buy what you need to buy so that you spend less than $10,000 in cash. Real quick, a personal check is not cash. Zelle transfer is not cash. A wire is not cash. A swipe of a debit card is not cash. I think people understand.
Yeah.
You can spend $9,900 in cash and swipe the rest on a card. And swipe another amount or send another amount to Zelle and write a check and do all those things. You can get your total well above 10,000.
Yeah.
Easily.
Okay.
Just gonna sit here and sip my coffee.
Yeah, well, there was a question earlier. Let me go scrolly back up. Hold on. Old Silver Dog asked, do you stack bars, pressed, or poured?
I do have a small stack of bars. Let me see.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right underneath that glove.
These are actually my personal poured bars. See the JR's, Joseph's Reserves. I had I've heard that this looks like a kid writing with a crayon. But here was attempt number 2. A lot cleaner. Still a little lopsided, but I'm going to be making more of these bars. I have a third one that I haven't stamped yet just because I haven't done it. These are my 5-ounce bars. I plan on pouring some more stuff. So I do like poured bars. I also have some Engelhard poured bars. And I personally really like cast bars like Germania Mint, 9 Fine. I also have a small amount of 1-ounce pressed bars. and some 10-ounce pressed bars. To me, it goes again. I'm a typeset collector. I want a little bit of everything because you never know if all of a sudden poured bars are going to go crazy in the market and have a high premium and a high buyback, right? So it seems like if you have a little bit of all of it, especially in like right now's market, there's no difference in premium for a cast or poured bar. There's no difference in premium for even the brand of bar, right? So if you have a little bit of Engelhard, you have a little bit of Sunshine Mint, you have a little bit of Highland Mint that has just the generic, Buffalo stamp on it with a 10-ounce bar, whatever it is. If you have a collection of a few things that you all bought for the same premium and you could sell it for the same premium, to me, that's my favorite form of collecting because it doesn't cost anything. I get to have a little type of some variety in my stack. And at the end of the day, any one of those could blow up in popularity at any time and be able to have a better buyback. For this perfect example is Libertads. Libertads, when I first started stacking, had a lower premium than Eagles. Eagles were like $15 over spot, and Libertads I think were like $5. They were right in line with Maples. All of a sudden, Libertads in 2025 had an incredibly low mintage year, and all Libertads blew up. Right now, they're selling for a crazy amount. Honestly, my shop doesn't even sell these because we don't even really understand how to price them because this is so new. So we do buy them, but then we have to like contact our wholesaler, figure out what they're paying, and it's a whole process. It's almost like it's its own collectible item, these Libertads. So that's exactly the type of point where you want to have, when they're the same premium, you want to have a little bit of everything so that when one product blows off and the premium jumps up, then you could capitalize on that if it's possible without having the upfront high premium at that time. And the other thing, the reason I have Eagles when I first started buying and they were at such a high premium is because they had a much higher buyback at that time too. They were actually the most efficient, the closest buyback to their premium price, the lowest spread when I first started buying. So I was going mostly heavy in Eagles. Today, a generic has the most efficient premium. So right now I'm buying mostly generic when it comes to silver. So that's all stuff to take into account of if you're choosing one item over another, poured, cast, or stamped bars versus different types of coins, you want a little bit of everything.
That also goes into another question that, oh gosh, I lost it. It's over here.
Okay.
That West Texas Stacker says, why are vintage bars more sought after? And some shops just buy them as generic or sees them as generic.
Yeah, so is that part of the question?
That's part of the
Two-part question. So, why do some shops buy and sell them as generic? Really, it depends on their wholesale market. So, the entire way a shop buys and sells, they find out what their wholesaler is buying it and selling it for. Basically, if my wholesaler is buying something for $1 under spot, I cannot buy a bulk collection at spot. I would lose money. I also can't buy it at $1 under spot because then I get no profit. It's a cost for me to hold it, drive it to the shop, to the wholesaler, sell it to them. All that is a cost, right? So I had to figure out what amount of dollars per ounce makes sense underneath the wholesale. It's called a bid, what they're paying. The wholesale bid is here. I have to figure out where my profit is from that. A lot of people see it as a spread or a profit from spot, and that's honestly a huge misunderstanding. I want to say almost no one is paying spot for anything just because it's silver in that spot. It doesn't quite work that way. So if they're paying $1 under spot, then I have to adjust from that. The next side is, what is their ask? What are they selling it for? For example, my wholesaler right now is selling Eagles for $2.50 over spot. So I have to figure out how many dollars above that is it going to make sense if someone came and bought all of my Eagles. See, right now, my business is just starting up. We only have 2 tubes of Eagles that we bought from the public. It could happen very quickly that someone comes in wanting 40 ounces of silver and wants them in Eagles, right? So if someone cleans out my entire inventory of Eagles, I'm going to have to replace that from wholesale. Or at least I have to guarantee that product can be replaced from wholesale because it doesn't look good if a shop, especially Eagles, if they don't have Eagles, they don't have Canadian Maples, or they don't have any generics, that's a really bad look for a shop. It looks like they have no variety and they're just waiting for product to come in so they get the best spread. So if I buy it from wholesale at $2.50 over, then I have to have a spread from that wholesale ask. So that is what drives the larger buy to sell spread. The total spread across the shop is what their wholesalers doing and how much it costs to operate that shop. Overall, that spread of what the wholesale bid and ask is buying and selling that product for is relative to the local demand, right? So for example, if, just like what I said, if a shop runs out of Eagles, or if my shop had someone come in and say, hey, I want 2 monster boxes of Eagles. The year doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a sealed monster box. I just want 1,000 ounces of silver Eagles. Then I can place that order with my wholesaler and they'll lock me in at the $2.50 over spot. But what that means is they are going to raise their bid. They raise what they publish to all the shops in the area, what they're willing to buy those silver Eagles at, so that it will entice more selling to that shop and that shop selling to the wholesale. Once that bid goes up, then more flow will happen to that to fulfill that order. So that high demand, the local demand, changes the wholesale bid and ask, right? If they are putting together an order for 1,000 ounces of silver Eagles, that ask is going to go way higher because they can't really sell any Eagles until they have that filled 1,000 ounces of Eagles. So their ask price is going to go dramatically higher. That's why in some areas, Eagles are a lot more expensive than in other areas. It's entirely dependent on what wholesaler they use. You could even have a shop one side of the street uses a wholesaler down south, and a shop on the other side of the street uses a wholesaler up north. Since they have different wholesale markets or different wholesalers they deal with, they have different pricings, and people are going to call between those two shops to find out which is the better option for what they're trying to get that day, right? So I hope that kind of opens the floor a little bit on spreads. I forget what the initial question was on this specific topic that ran me up this way. I think it was something. Generic vintage spreads or vintage bars, vintage rounds. So that's the reason that the way they buy it is the same, because wholesalers view vintage as just generic silver, so they buy it that way. That was my point there. Why do some people? Why is there they're more sought out for? Is because a lot of those vintage companies are no longer making silver. If they're not making silver, then there's a limited supply. There are certain products that is tracked by outside people and collectors that company only made this specific kind of silver, this specific bar with this specific serial number, those specific things. There's a finite amount of them, right? So that's where collectors will want to build up a typeset, they'll want all the highest, most rare version of a thing, and those are highly sought out for. Like Engelhard. Engelhard is a perfect example. But the thing is, a shop that doesn't know where to sell it, right? Imagine, or for example, if I knew I could sell a highly collectible Engelhard price for its collector value, then that means I'm going to be buying it differently if I already knew who I could sell it to.
Yeah.
If I don't know who I can sell it to, I have to buy it as if I'm going to sell it to wholesale. Because let's say I buy this 1 ounce Engelhard round and it's incredibly valued by collectors. Let's say this 1 ounce round sells regularly on eBay for $300. If I contact my guy and I say, hey, I got this Engelhard round. It's this one. You've been asking about it. It's going to be $300. Would you buy this? And he goes, yeah, I'll buy it. Okay, I might buy it at $290. I don't need to make a whole lot off of it. $10, sure. Or I might buy it at 95% or however that works out. But when
coffee's about to start.
When he tells me no, I'm not going to buy that. I'm not interested at this time. I don't have the cash. I can't buy it at that same way. I have to buy it as if I'm going to sell it to my wholesaler, and they're going to buy it at $3 under spot. So now I have to offer them 4 or 5 or 6 under spot. So that's exactly how that ends up. Where some vintage rounds are for sale at local coin shops for just regular generic price. Even this one, I just found out this dragon is a vintage, really, really low vintage, scarce round. I bought it for a generic price. I think I bought it for like $2 over spot. And it regularly sells on eBay for about 150. So that's what, almost triple spot these days. So
Bicentennial Baby has a good point.
Bicentennial Baby.
Yeah. Okay. This person, they say, I tend to support my local coin shop and they have good prices. If you are a repeat customer, they tend to look out for you, especially if there's something you are looking for. And that just goes back on to having a relationship with your local coin shop.
Yeah.
And, being open and honest with them of what you're looking for, because you will probably be the first or second phone call that they make.
Right.
If something comes in the door.
At my work, we have a list of people that are looking for very specific products. Like Centenarios in my area are very, very popular. But they're popular in the fact that everyone wants them. They just aren't popular in the fact that people are willing to spend more on them.
Yeah.
Right. So we sell them at a 3% premium. And if a certain year comes in, we know there's a few people that they want to get they want to get a whole year set, a whole date run of the Centenarios, right? So we know if there's a certain year that comes in, who we can sell it to. We know if any of them come in, we have a list of like 8 people to call. Hey, are you buying today? Hey, are you buying today? And most of the time, the first person we call is at that shop in about 15 minutes, right? So if you go to a shop and say, hey, I'm really interested in these products. I'm really interested in the Libertads. I really want to buy Libertads. I'm willing to buy them at a premium. Would you be willing to put my name on a list to call if you ever get Libertads?
And there's a guy that you have.
Yeah, there's a guy at my shop that we call for Libertads. Yeah. There's 4 of them, right? So, and that's the thing is we call the first guy who is willing to pay more for Libertads. We call then the second guy, the one that is just as reliable, but he wants them at close to an equal price. Okay, well, we might not be able to do that depending on what my wholesaler is selling them for, right? Then it goes down the list of, all right, this person said he was interested, but last time he didn't move quickly. He didn't come the same day. He came a week later to see if we still had them. That guy's low on the list, right? So if you're going to put yourself on a list for a shop, make sure you are liquid. Make sure you are the same day or the next day, you could get in there and buy it. Some shops accept Zelle or over the phone payments, right? So if that's the case, if they call you and say, hey, we've got this Libertad for sale, it's $15 over spot. Are you interested? And you go, you know what? Yes, I am. I can pay you right now. Set that aside for me. They will do it 100%. Absolutely. You send them money, that's your coin. 100%. So take advantage of these opportunities with the relationships of your shop that is near you. Even if it's Thousand Air Radio calls it a not so local coin shop. It's just NLCS. I don't know. But if it's not that local, let's say it's a shop you're an hour away from or farther. There's some people that live 3 hours away from their closest coin shop. If that's the case, and you say, hey, do you accept over the phone payments? Can I Zelle you? I'll pay you for it now and I'll come pick it up. I'll take a weekend trip and go out and see you. Yeah. And I'll see you on Saturday. If they're not open on Saturdays, then get there Friday night. Whatever. The thing is, if you can pay them, they will set it aside for you. And
if you have a relationship with them.
Right, as long as you have a relationship and you set that up in advance and they have your number to call you and they know what you're looking for, I guarantee you, the most fun I have at my job is when something comes in and I go, oh, nice, I know exactly who's going to buy this. Yeah. And then I get to call that person and get that coin in their collection or in their stack. That is the most fulfilling part of my job, right? So if they have your number, they will call you. And but the thing is, if they call you and you are not able to buy it, they're going to call you a lot less.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it goes. They're going to call the people who are able to move that day or the next day.
Yeah.
Right.
Catcom had a question. Does platinum come in much?
So platinum.
Oh, sorry, you're about to take
that's
a
fine.
sip.
Platinum comes in. I want to say, well, recently we had some guy move completely out of platinum into gold. So we had a lot of platinum coming in from this one guy. He was selling 1 ounce generic bars of platinum, and that was a really interesting. It was like maybe 2 weeks. He sold us 8 ounces of platinum.
Dang.
Other than that, we'll get maybe once a month someone comes in with platinum or a large amount of platinum, and they just want to sell it all, right? But the thing is, platinum is very difficult. The spreads are much wider, and because the spreads are wider, people don't want to sell them very much. They're holding for a much larger spread. And I do know that some shops like to hold platinum. Some shops themselves don't want to sell platinum, so they'll just say, "Oh, it's just so hard to sell. I gotta buy it really low," and then they end up buying it themselves, which is just kind of dirty. But that's also part of the business, right?
Yeah.
You are selling it to that person, right? So at my shop, we sell everything that comes in. I'm actually, as an employee, I'm not allowed to buy it unless the shop has had it for a week. And my boss himself doesn't actually stack aside from operating the shop. So
He used to. He was a previous stacker.
he stacked and then he liquidated his stack as his first inventory, which I think is a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing something similar, unfortunately. So these pieces, you might see some of them go away. But the thing is, I'm going to be selling them. I'm going to be selling them and immediately replacing them from wholesale. So they'll go away for some time and come back.
Yeah.
But that's the
It's
plan.
part of the process.
Yeah.
And we're willing to be a part of the process.
But yeah, so platinum, it does come in every once in a while. It either comes in very, very, a very little amount, very sparsely, or it comes in all at once, in a whole lot at once, and just leaves immediately. So, yeah, that's platinum.
Yeah.
Which that's another thing you could tell your shop. If any platinum comes in, I want to buy it. I will match JM Bullion price, or I will match whatever it is that day. I'll match it with this. They'll know, oh wow, okay, I have a buyer for this. I'll be able to buy it a little bit better than that. And they might even call you, hey, I got someone wanting to sell me platinum right now. Can you buy it? And then you'll go, yeah, I can buy it. I can send you this now. And they would be able to buy it better for the person who's selling it if you have already told them you can buy it.
Brandon 044 says, I've been looking for a new shop in the Houston area. Well, come on over.
We're north of Houston.
Yep. We're near Lake Conroe.
Yeah.
And then in the chat, we're having conversations. We, as in
The chat.
They're having conversations about making accounts and being up on it of like JM Bullion and Amex and buying online, because not a lot of people have local coin shops.
Yeah.
So to like sign up, have an account, have the notifications of their sales going on.
Absolutely. If you're buying online, buy the sales.
Buy the sales, yeah. So
there are
that's what they're
often
talking about.
times where a sale will happen. They'll be selling some Eagle at spot or their generic rounds for $1 over spot. And that's even better than the premium I would be able to offer.
And that's what they're talking about. And sometimes
Yeah.
they have free shipping deals on top of that. So yeah, just be super
Absolutely.
on top of that.
Yep.
Especially if, someone had said that their local coin shop's a few hours away. Oh, Elder Joshua. And he was like, they just suck balls and not friendly or willing to talk to anybody.
Man.
So like that's
I don't
super
get that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shops in my area that they won't quote over the phone. They won't tell you what their spreads are. They won't even tell you what spot price they use. They want nothing to do with you over the phone. And the second you come in, they're like, oh, well, we charge, we buy it at $10 under spot or 80% of spot. And it's like, whoa, guys, why you just don't want to participate in this business? Like, that makes no sense to me.
And that's the thing. It's like
people can run their business how they want.
So Dom Vaughn's saying, he's like, I just hate seeing people like overpay. It hurts me. 100%. Like, we're all in this together, and like the deals makes it.
Yeah,
I was gonna make it rhyme,
absolutely.
but I didn't know what to rhyme. I was like, deals make the meals. I don't know. That's immediately what I thought. But yeah, it's buy it as low as you can.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be
that's why a lot of
pretty.
people like they call around to find out who's selling it at the lowest. And if the shop
Someone's
doesn't hold on. If the shop doesn't quote over the phone, I would suggest don't even go to that shop. Because the reason they're not quoting over the phone is they know you're not going to come if they tell you the price.
And if they tell you the price over the phone and then you show up, they're like, oh, okay, well, I got you in the door. So now you have to buy because you're not going to leave empty handed.
Right.
And then that's
the game they're playing.
Scamming.
Also, understand if you are calling a shop and they say, hey, I'm selling an Eagle at, let's just call it $75. I know that's a ridiculous premium today, but let's say I'm selling an Eagle at $75 and you plan to show up because you're going to spend $75. Understand that their premium fluctuates with spot. Don't try to lock them into whatever they said on the phone because silver jumped $3 and now it looks like a more attractive premium. Don't be that kind of customer either. Understand that what they should tell you is we're selling Eagles at $10 over spot. Whatever spot fluctuates, it's going to reflect that $10 over. At the moment, it would be this amount. But when you come in, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Be a smart customer, just like you'd expect the salesman, the businessman, to be smart businessmen.
Sometimes
that's all I gotta say.
Because
I've told people like, oh yeah, we're selling generics at $2 over spot. Right now it'd be $59.40, and they come in and now spot's $70. No, it wasn't that dramatic. Spot might have jumped to like $65, and it's now a $67 coin instead of a $59 coin, and they're all up in arms about it. So. Yeah, I think they get the point there.
Yeah, they get it. We get it.
You were gonna say something about a specific coin, or I saw you pointing.
Someone said just keep hating on local coin shops. Before you know it, it'll all be gone, and you will have done it. I don't know what that means. Someone had asked Ritos, Joseph, can you please hold up that 2024 dragon to the right of the screen if you haven't already? He's drooling over it.
This 2024 dragon. Oh, to the right of the screen? Are you talking about this? The gold?
Oh, I don't know. Well,
these are both 2024 dragons. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of dragons. They are very significant to me personally. So I stack a lot of dragon stuff. Dragons is kind of like my ice cream precious metals. My super sweet, can't resist, buy it at any premium type of stuff. Unfortunately, I way overpaid for this quarter-ounce gold, mostly because gold was about $5,000 when I bought it for both of the dragons. But for this 5-ounce, I got it at a really decent price. I think I bought this when silver was in the 30s.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was one of your original.
One of my original pieces. Yeah, I love the Perthmint Animal Series. My goal was originally to get 5-ounce silver in the series 1, 2, and 3. So here I have series 2 and 3. So I'd only have number 1 left. But I found out that the series 1 didn't come in a 1-ounce or in a 5-ounce size. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to upgrade these to the 10-ounce size so I can have all 1, 2, and 3. And then I do have the 10th ounce and quarter-ounce gold of the 2024, the quarter-ounce gold of the 2012. So I might just go for the full set of all 3 series of the dragons. I do have both of these in a 1/2-ounce silver as well. And I might just go for the whole set. The whole, like I said, I'm a typeset kind of stacker. So putting together a full set is what drives me, especially with collectible stuff like this. For me, what was I going to say? For me, these are the type of stuff that I'm not going to sell. So the premium, I'm willing to pay a little bit more. So if y'all have any dragon stuff, come by my shop. I might buy it from you directly outside of the shop and be able to get you a better deal for it. So when it comes to stacking versus collecting, is pretty much just what you like. And I did use the term ice cream silver, ice cream precious metals. Basically, what I mean by that is a lot of people treat stacking as the healthy meals, right? And then there's the 20-80 rule. You know, if you're 20% of the time even in nutrition, 20% of the time, if you're eating the sweets and the stuff to keep you sane and keep you happy with what you're eating, then the other 80% of the time you're going to be able to stay strict. And I think that rule does apply similarly to stacking. 20-80 rule. If 20% of your stack, either by value or by weight, is something you really really enjoy, it'll really keep you in the hobby or in the mindset of a stacker. I think 80% being your massive liquidation stack, and then the other 20% being something you just really enjoy, the stuff that is not going to sell at any time. That's going to keep that money frozen in that time capsule longer, right? I made a video explaining how I view all of this as taking an amount of wealth, an amount of purchasing power, and freezing it in time so that it can be spent later. If you do the same thing with a dollar bill, if you think this freezes your wealth, it does not. This decays over time. Inflation destroys this. Just look at what a dollar, do I have one? Think of what a dollar used to buy in, what is this, 1880, what a dollar used to buy in 1880 versus what a dollar can buy today. And the example is clear. So this being a time capsule of an amount of wealth, the more it's a collectible piece, the more it's that ice cream silver, the stuff you don't want to get rid of, the more it becomes something you're not going to sell because you need cash. You're going to sell this other stuff first. This stuff is going to be a pretty dire situation if you want to sell some of your deep stack. Maybe not dire, but it's going to be easily held on for a lot longer. It's going to be the type of silver that you pass on to your kids, and the type of stuff that becomes generational wealth much easier than the regular bullion stuff will.
Angry Buffalo Stackers in the chat.
And real quick, plug, since we're about halfway into the live at the moment.
Yeah, plug in.
Today I have a interview with Kalilo. I made a post about it, so go on my community page, look at the post, you'll see where I shared the live. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Texas time, so adjust that to whatever your time. I keep wanting to say time signature. Time zone, whatever your time zone is. 3 p.m. He invited me onto his live show, his channel, so that we can do a podcast style question and answer.
And his questions are...
He's got good questions. He wants to talk about legacy. So the entire idea of passing this on and what you're passing on, it's going to be a very good interview, podcast type live. So definitely be there. It's going to be awesome.
You were looking at the questions earlier this week, and then...
I was like crying over these questions, just thinking about what I'm going to answer. It's going to be so emotional, guys.
Yeah.
You want to see Joseph cry.
Well, not physically see, but
yeah, you want to hear me fight over some words? It's going to be a good show.
Oh, man. Yeah. So good.
I've been talking for a minute. Do we get any questions?
Okay. We just asked, sorry if I missed it, but where is your shop, my friends?
So I work at a shop in the Houston area. Because I work there and I don't own the shop, I cannot give the information out of where it is and all that. It's not my intellectual property, we'll put it that way. Mm-hmm. So I can't share on the channel. However, I'm in the process of starting a new shop. It's probably going to be opening up in the next couple weeks here. Mm-hmm. It's in the Houston area, but more accurately, it's going to be by Conroe, by Lake Conroe, if you're in the area. So look for that. I'll be posting a lot about it. As soon as we sign a lease, I'm going to get a date that the door will open. There's a lot of construction that's involved, so that's why I think it's going to be about 2 weeks.
It'll be about 2 weeks for construction, and then it's kind of putting the puzzle pieces in, and then...
Yeah, so as soon as we know a date of, we get the keys and we get to actually do business there, I'll be posting that, and y'all can plan a road trip, or just if you're in the area, come on by. I'm going to be starting with my inventory, right? So it might be a little limited in actual coins for sale, maybe not, depending on what I can replace it through my wholesaler with, right? So keep that in mind if you come by. I'm not going to be selling something like this.
No.
My whole conversation was just about how these are not for sale, right? So those kind of things won't be for sale, but a lot of this is going to be for sale.
Training with Lions knows the area and is local, and we've met him personally. And he was saying, is it going to be close to Bulldoggies? And that is like top tier hot dog place.
I don't know Bulldoggies.
Well, you don't. Well, you're also off social media, so
Yeah,
there's that too.
Yeah.
I know about it. We drive.
I run the YouTube account, but I'm off social media.
But you're off
I don't
social
do
media,
any. I don't like scroll YouTube very much. I also don't use like TikTok, Facebook. What X? What other social medias are there today?
All the things.
LinkedIn, is that a social media?
I don't know. We were just talking about it the other day.
Anyway,
but I'm on there sometimes, and like we've been here for 5 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
And
So hold on.
Bulldoggies-
Where's Bulldoggies?
Bulldoggies is probably a handful of. It's closer to the lake, as we're a little bit.
Oh, so
farther.
Bulldoggies is like on the lake?
No. Bulldoggies is going to be like, it's the turn that we go this way. I'm not gonna say like where we go for that.
Yeah.
But it's so we're kind of farther down. We're more closer to
It's
Bruisers,
closer.
the ice cream place.
Oh, the ice cream place, Bruisers.
Yeah,
We're gonna be right next to
Bruisters?
that.
We're gonna be
Bruisters?
closer to that than
Bruisters.
Bulldoggies.
Yeah. So we're not gonna be on the lake. I know there's a shopping center right there on the lake.
Yeah.
We're probably like half a mile to a mile away from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Towards Conroe from that.
Yeah,
So like that'll give you a really, really specific area where we're gonna be.
Just text Joseph and he can tell you if you really need to know.
Wait, I blacked out. What did you say?
Well, Training with Lions was asking specifically.
Oh yeah. Training with Lions. You can text me. I think you have my number.
Yeah.
You can text me about where it's gonna
Matt
be.
Wing is in the chat. What's up?
Hello.
So Dom Vaughn, he is from Minnesota, and I think that's what he said. Minnesota.
We're not trying to be what's the word, insulting at all about the accent. We actually just met some people from Minnesota. Well, my wife did. Met some people from Minnesota at the pool this week. So she was like obsessed with the accent and how they said, what was it, Minnesota? Yeah.
I just kept asking.
Love the accent.
I just kept
Love that
asking
area
questions.
of the United States.
I couldn't stop talking to that lady, and honestly, I got her number because I was
Can you just
like,
keep saying Minnesota?
Can you just keep saying Minnesota? And then she was like, "Oh yeah, my friend from South Dakota," and I was like, yes, please. So every time I was at the pool,
we've lived all over the United States, and
Yeah.
accents are
One of my
a really
favorite
fun part of moving around. So we just love accents. We love the what area? What's that kind of called? The
Midwest.
Midwestern accent. Yeah. Don't some people call it the South Canada states?
I don't know.
Have you heard that before?
I've heard that.
I've heard South. Sorry if that's derogatory at all, but I've heard that. But yeah, that's probably like the most. I almost want to say most entertaining, but like it seems like the most authentic accent.
Well, not only that is like we haven't been fully immersed in that area. Like we haven't lived in that area for it to be like not like I want to say normal because like Texas, there's a Texas accent, but then it's like a melting pot here to where there's a handful of accents, and now we're just used to it. And some people are like, "Oh, well, you have an accent." I'm like, "That's just how I talk." But I also talked when we lived in the Carolinas. We talked really fast because we came from California, and I remember when I was like working as a server. Everyone would tell me, like, you need to slow down. These people can't comprehend you going a mile a minute. So I had to kind of
believe it or not, this is slowed down from California.
Yeah. And because in California, it's just like,
everyone, I need your information now. Stop talking to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of the vibe of California.
So anyways, so we haven't like fully immersed ourselves in the Midwest. Yeah. And I honestly would love, I love that.
Yeah, we should visit sometime.
We should visit. Maybe we'll come up to you, Don Vaughn. Okay. Oh wait, I kind of missed a handful of things, but that's okay.
Go back up and see if you missed questions.
Oh,
I want to make sure we're. If we skip your question, just repost it.
Yeah.
Sasquatch, I'm just gonna agree with you without saying anything else.
Oh, where are you at? Oh yeah. We're refugees from there. Okay, Don Vaughn said he's lived there his whole life, and no one says "you betcha" or "ye sure." Dang, you're in the wrong spot.
Oh man.
Okay, good morning, Silver Serpent.
Hey, Silver Serpents, what's up? Nice to see you.
Okay, when we're in this mode, the chat just goes way faster, and I'm
Yeah.
not able to
Well,
see it.
go there.
Okay.
That's why you have that pulled up. She's got her phone going and the computer going. So bear with us on the chat. We're accidentally in portrait mode, so it's a little different today.
Noah the short seller is here.
Noah the
What's
short
up?
seller. How's it going?
Okay. Michael Hermes says, when you open your shop.
Oh, Michael. Hey, what's up? What's up? Go ahead.
Okay. So now I have to like yell at you guys. When you open your shop, are you going to do collectible coins and currency, or just
Yes.
bullion?
So the shop that I work at is just bullion, right? We do some collectible stuff if we can call our wholesaler and they have some sort of bid. Because we don't get any people
Why
coming
are you so
in.
burpy this
I don't know.
morning?
It might be dinner last night.
Okay, no, dinner last night was
Oh my
bomb.
gosh. My wife made tri-tip and baked potatoes.
potatoes.
Oh man, we don't eat like that often, but it was so good.
The baked potatoes we haven't had like
Yeah,
literal years.
Years without baked
But that
potatoes.
tri-tip,
The tri-tip
bro,
was perfect.
so
good.
I didn't write down what I did with that.
Oh
so
gosh.
I have to remember.
She does this thing where she cooks amazing meals and has no idea how to duplicate it. Anyway, so the shop I currently work at does not do much collectible coins, but I have already purchased the gray sheet and the green sheet. If you're unfamiliar, the gray
You
sheet.
want the magazine?
Yeah, you can go ahead and bring that. The gray sheet is they update regular wholesale and retail prices for collectible coins. So what I'm going to show you, just the
I
top
was just
one.
making sure it doesn't have our address on it.
It doesn't. Just that. That's last month's issue.
Okay.
So this is this month, or I guess August. Yeah, actually this month. We're in August now.
We're not.
This month's issue. It's an actual physical magazine they send once a month, but there's also an online database and an app. So let's see if we can get. So you can see here it has, what are we looking at here? Large cents in every single grade. This is the wholesale price, right? So what a dealer would pay another dealer for the coin. They also online publish the retail price, so I would know what to sell it to the public. So my shop is going to be using these to buy and sell collectible stuff like this graded coin for its actual collectible value. The shop I work at now, we would call this specifically, we would end up calling our wholesaler. They say, yeah, we'd pay, I think this is this retail price of this is $325. The wholesaler would say, yeah, we could pay $200 for it. And then we would end up buying it at like 80% less than that and then just sell it to the wholesaler because we don't have people coming in willing to pay $200 for this. So if I have a base of people that are willing to buy stuff like this, then I'll be able to buy it from the public, right? So it entirely depends on how many people are going to be buying it from me is where I'm going to be able to make a bid for you, if that makes sense. Mike Hermes, I know you're looking for collectible stuff, so you're going to be on my list, man. Like, I'm going to be able to call you, hey, are you looking for this? It's about this
Is he
much.
local?
He's local, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll meet
I almost
someday.
just said some personal information, but I'll tell you about it later. So, Mike Hermes, you're right there for me. I'm gonna be able to call you for anything you
And
like.
that's actually shop
And
property.
I kind of, yeah, this one right here. This is shop property. This
And
is gonna
so
be sale.
is your 10.
Yes, this one too. The shop bought this one.
Your
My business bought these. So these are actually going to be for sale at my shop. And these are going to be this is the type of collectible stuff that we're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
If it is graded, it makes this stuff, this is graded prices. So if it's graded, it makes it way easier. It could be that you bring a collectible coin to me and it could be a fine 12 or a very fine, but I'll offer you the fine 12 price because there's a possibility it wouldn't grade that. And my plan is to have a somewhat of a consignment based on grading, where if you don't like my fine 12 price because you think it's a very fine, then I will give you the opportunity to pay for me to send it to grade. And then when it comes back, whatever grade it is, it'll solidify the actual price. I'll buy it on the new grade when it comes back. Or if you want to keep it because it came back at an extremely fine and now it's way more value and you don't want to sell it. You know,
that's fine.
That's
Keep it.
fine. Keep it. I would too. So that's going to be a service my shop is going to offer. And I'm really excited about what it's going to do for the collectability portion of coins and currency in this area, because in my area, nobody has collectible coins. Nobody buys collectible stuff for the collectible value. So I'm really going to be starting it in this area and pushing that probably a lot. Probably we're going to be the biggest collectible coin shop in the greater Houston area, honestly.
Because we're like North Houston.
Yeah, we're very North Houston. There is a shop south that exclusively buys graded coins. My goal would be to buy raw coins. It's just unfortunately I have to buy them at probably a grade lower than they actually are to kind of offset the risk to buying them raw. And I'm going to have to be very strict on this coin is cleaned, this coin is damaged, this coin would not get a straight grade. Usually if it's clean, damaged, or in any other way, won't get a genuine grade, or won't get or will receive a details grade, is what it's called. If it will, that typically knocks off set like 50 to 70% of the value. So that's going to be reflected in my offers for collectible stuff.
Yeah. But the thing is the point of business for us is how we want you to make the most money. We want you to make the most money.
My
and
entire
also,
job is to pay you the most I can.
Yeah.
That's everything I'm doing. And of course I could just say, well, you got an eagle, I'll pay you $1,000. It's not going to work though.
Within relative.
I have to pay you as much as I possibly can to keep the doors open.
Yeah.
That's the entire business, right? I'm going to pay you as much as I can. I'm not going to say, oh, wow, this MS-70 1994 American Eagle, which is the key date, by the way, if you guys didn't know. It's graded MS-70. I'm not going to pay you regular Eagle price for that. Obviously, I'm going to be able to sell it for much more. So I'm going to try to pay you the most I can while keeping the doors open.
Yeah.
So
and also selling it low as much as you can to also
I'm gonna sell it as low as I can. Yeah. Right. If eBay, for example, they take a 13.5% cut. So let's say something sells on eBay for $100. That doesn't mean the seller is receiving $100. That means that seller is receiving $86.50. So that's gonna be my retail price if you're right in front of me in person. Right? I'm gonna offer the coin to you at whatever the actual seller would be receiving, because I'm the seller. I'm going to be receiving that amount. So to me, people who are matching eBay, matching online, they're doing it wrong. They're not matching the actual value that customer buying it from them is receiving, right? So
yeah,
that's what I'm going to be matching.
Don Vaughn just said, sorry, I shortened it because that's a lot. He just said, homeless to coin shop. I'm going to write your book for you.
I just heard of a precious metal stacker who had a YouTube channel who was called to Christ and made another channel about his journey to Christ. He was actually featured on Yankee Stacking. He was at Tim's shop buying something, but he created a YouTube channel called Homeless to Christ.
Oh wow!
Yeah. I was like, dang it! I can't use it now. But, I mean, I haven't checked out that channel. Feel free to go check it out on my behalf. Homeless to Christ. From what he was talking about on Yankee Stacking, and he was interviewing Yankee is why he drove like 3.5 hours to go interview Yankee for that channel. So it's possible Yankee can be on that channel, might even do a face reveal. But if he does, he probably wouldn't even say it's him. But yeah. Overall, check out that channel. It seemed like it's a really, really beautiful channel.
That's cool.
Yeah, but Homeless to Coin Shop.
Homeless to Coin Shop. No, it's just, we talk about this daily of just
how much God has worked for us. How much he's done in our lives, and it never stops.
It never stops. It makes me emotional and speechless, and I'm just like, you know that emoji that like the brain's exploding? Like that's how I'm just like, what is happening?
When we look back and think about where he's been in our lives every step of the way, it's
even before we were
even before we were following him, he was with us the whole time, and it's just beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's it's hard to even imagine everywhere he was.
Yes.
Because he's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
So, yeah, that's the whole point.
Silver Serpent says, I'm really excited for your interview with, I'm going to mess it up. What's his name again?
Khalilo. Yeah, Khalilo.
Today.
So, me
slight
too.
plug, because you haven't said it in a while.
I haven't said it in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on an interview / podcast style question answer live with Khalilo. I think it's Khalilo01 is his full tag. Definitely go look him up. He's got a great channel. But also, we're going to be live at 3 p.m. Texas time. I think he's on the West Coast because he told me 1 p.m. And then when I saw that he posted it, it told me 3 p.m. So I think he's, that time zone. But wherever time zone you are, it's 3 p.m. Texas time. Mm-hmm. So adjust accordingly. And we're going to be on there. We were originally saying 2 hours, but he sent me a list of like 100 questions.
It was not 100 questions, but it seemed like, the only reason why I was the one that put the time limit on there of like 2 hours because we have
usually
family
do
time.
2 hours. Yeah.
And we usually do 2 hours, and that's going into dinner time. So that is why I suggested 2 hours. But then Khalilo sent the questions, and I look at Joseph, and I'm like, it's not going to be 2 hours.
It definitely won't be 2 hours.
And he's like, well, we'll try.
Try is the key word there. It's not going to be 2 hours.
It's not going to be 2 hours.
And actually, I didn't even say anything to Khalilo about 2 hours because when my wife and I were talking about 2 hours, he is the same time he sent the list. So we're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But it's easily 50 to 75 questions. A lot of them are a little bit repetitive, so we'll probably be able to skip some. But
this is mostly by
overall,
categories. And
yes, there's categories where there's a nice flow to it.
Yeah.
I read the list, and thinking about my responses, I was getting emotional. So if you want to hear me struggle over some words, definitely be on that live. It's going to be a tearjerker, and at least for me,
emotional damage.
It's going to be heavy for me, so I hope you guys are excited and in for a treat.
I think so.
But yeah, definitely be there. It's going to be an amazing live.
West Texas Sacker says, Texas Times moves a little slower. It's so true. My dad's here from California, and he's been here for the last 2 months. And every day he's just like, wait, it's this time already? And he thinks it moves fast, but really it's just slow as molasses. And we're just getting things done.
Yeah.
It's different timing.
Yeah. Once you settle in, it's you get used to the time, and it's just how it goes.
Pajama Stacking's in here.
What's up, Pajama Stacking? Oh, I see a question. Pajama Stacking says, diversified outside 100% of metals yet or no? So, yes, we actually, we have the home we're living in. It's not really like an asset per se, but it has 5 acres. So we are invested in land. So, but the thing is, I prefer physical investments. I don't like the idea of putting money into the stock market, into a 401k. I've had 401ks before, and they've never performed for me. So every time I've moved from one job to another, I've completely liquidated that 401k and actually put it into metals. So I would not suggest doing that. There's a lot of reasons not to do that.
It was a good timing, though.
But it was perfect timing.
It was really good timing.
Ended up liquidating and going into, I think it was like 4 or 5 ounces of gold.
Yeah.
And then I think that was around...
Well, that was like...
It was around like November time.
No, yeah,
September
it was
time.
It was last year.
Right before a massive run up. So it was perfect for us.
It worked great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just say that.
Yeah.
God's timing.
Anyway, I would not suggest taking money from one asset to another until you really know what's going on. Until you really have the plan to do that and it fits everything else you're doing. And speaking of that, I read a comment way in the beginning that I'm just now remembering about selling gold for gold, right? So selling like fractional gold for 1 ounce gold is something that a lot of people talk about. The only way it makes sense in my eyes is if you go into a product that is more liquid. For example, Buffalo's, right? They have a higher premium, but they also have a higher buyback price, right? So my shop buys Eagles at 96%, and not my shop, the shop I work at buys Eagles at 96%, and Buffalo's 97%.
Hold on, I just read this comment by Elder Joshua, and it hit. Hold on. He says, if you make God a priority in your life, he will make you a priority.
Oh, yes.
Bro.
That is awesome.
Oh, Dude, that hit. That needs to be on a
You just
shirt.
screenshot
I
that?
screenshot that. Wow.
That's
wow,
great.
Wow.
So my shop, the shop I work
gonna
at,
cry now.
I have
That was
to I have to specify that now. So
Yeah.
the shop I work at buys American Eagles at 96% and Buffalo's 97. That 1% difference, it's only about $40, right? But that can make a difference. The larger or the more gold goes up, the more difference that makes, right? So some people could argue for selling an eagle to get into a buffalo. The issue with what most people plan is they are trying to sell 4 quarter-ounce eagles to get a 1-ounce eagle. Right now, my shop buys quarter-ounce eagles at 97%. And then we buy 1-ounce eagles at 96%. Because we sell the 1-ounce stuff for lower premium, percentage per ounce, the quarter-ounce stuff, the fractional stuff, becomes more liquid. It's closer to the spot price. So while some people are arguing for selling fractional to get into 1-ounce size, I think the better opportunity is the other way around. Because if you sell something like this at 97% and then you put more money in, let's say you're selling 4 of these, the spread would be 97% to we're selling the 1-ounce eagles at 5% premium. That's an 8% spread. You have to come up with whatever 8% of spot is, that much cash to do that trade, right? Then you're putting more cash into ending up with a product that's going to get you less. I think doing it that way is completely backwards. If you want to put more cash in, you should be getting a product that will get you closer to spot price or a better offer later.
Drink, you need to hydrate.
So, if anything, going from 1-ounce products to 10th-ounce products would get you better bang for your buck as far as what you're able to sell it for later. That's why I would suggest, if you are ever trying to do a trade, I would suggest selling from one metal to the other metal, timing it with the GSR. If the GSR is really, really low, you can sell silver to go into gold. If the GSR is really, really high, you can sell gold going into silver. It doesn't have to be really, really high. It can just be right before what you feel is going to be a movement. Like right now, GSR is about 70. If you think we're going to go into a bull market, meaning prices are going to go up, silver will outperform. It's just more volatile. It will. So when silver does, you could sell some gold into silver. That doesn't mean that right now I think the GSR at 70 is really, really low and it's got tension going up and all the chart stuff, all the chart talk. I honestly don't think that's the case. But if we're going into a bull market, silver will outperform, the GSR will go up. So if that's the case, now might be a good time to sell some gold into silver. I'm not going to give you any financial advice. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But if your goal is to sell gold for more gold, what I would suggest is sell gold into silver. Wait for that movement and then sell silver into gold. Doing it that way, you could do it where there is no cost. You could sell an ounce of silver into, it would probably be like 60 ounces of silver. And then you wait for that 60 ounces of silver to go up to a point to where it will cover the cost of whatever gold you want, right? So doing it that way, 1-ounce gold into silver into smaller gold is probably the most efficient way to do it. It's going to take a lot longer time, and you're going to be sitting on silver when you might not have wanted to. There's going to be risk involved with the movement of the GSR, but life is risky. No one makes it out alive. That's one of my favorite quotes from Jim Rohn. So take a risk every once in a while. Overall, if you go into silver, you're putting money into silver. Silver is not going to go to zero. You can't lose everything. People say it's like making a bet. It's not like making a bet in the sense of the casino, because at a casino you can lose all of it. If you make a bet on silver and silver is at 57, even if it drops to $40, yes, you lost. But you still have the $40 that is the silver, right? So it's not necessarily making a bet.
Matt wants to know what your years of your Libertads are. In the chat, they're trying to figure out what years they are.
Oh, these right here is a date run from 2011 to 2015.
Okay.
That's what I have here. I also have the date run from 82 to 85. Those are the Libertads that I have. This right here is the 2006 proof. There was only 750, I think. Some say 750, some say 500 minted. So I go with 750 or 700. I forget the number. But a very low mintage for these proof 5-ounce Libertads. So this is a highly numismatic one, or highly collectible, high premium one. These are just common date Libertads. So yeah, that's what I have as far as Libertads go.
Did we fully answer the question earlier about, are you just doing collectible bullion?
Yes, so I mentioned I have the gray sheet, and the green sheet is the currency version of this. I got this for the shop, so we will be doing collectibles, collectability, all that stuff, right? The prices for graded will be much more stable. The prices for raw will unfortunately have to be very lowball feeling. It's just how it has to be because it's raw. There's a lot more risk involved. But what that means is it's going to give you the opportunity to get your coin graded, because we're also going to be sending coins to PCGS for people. I hear that PCGS, after accounting for shipping and insurance and all that, could be $50 to $70 a coin. So it would easily be, hey, I'm going to charge you this $70. I'll ship off your coin for you. It'll come back. You'll come pick it up. Or once it has a grade, you can sell it to me at this price. So depending on the amount of profit you might have in a coin, if it's relative to this, it could be worth sending that off. And that's entirely the gamble with grading. If you buy, let's say, a 1994 Eagle and you think it's an MS70 or a 69, you buy it at just a regular premium, then spending that $50 to $70 on grading it might even get you even more profit when selling it at this price. So that's where that whole conversation comes in. Even if you don't want to sell it and you just want to take advantage of my ability to send it to PCGS, I'm happy to do that for you too.
Yeah. Michael Hermes says, want a consignment sell a couple slab privy quarters for me? That's a conversation we would definitely have later.
We're trying to figure out how consignment would work. Pretty much, we just need to figure out what rate makes sense for us, right? It would be, we would sign a basic contract of just, it could even probably be handwritten, just, I'm going to take this percentage of the sale. And then your coin would live on my shelf. And whenever someone's interested in it, me and you would have a previously assigned sale point. I would tell that person that coin is on consignment. I have no negotiation on it. It is this price. Yeah. And then I, as a shop, would take some sort of percentage, basically a seller's fee. We just need to figure out if that percentage makes more sense to be 10% or 20% or maybe 50%. I have no idea what that would look like. So that's all in the works.
Yeah. We have about 15 more minutes. I did put the link in the chat for the live today.
Yes, live at 3 p.m. tonight with Kalilo. I've talked about it a bunch, so we'll just leave it at that. The link is there.
Yeah. Let me just scroll back up to see if there's any questions that we missed. Okay, Dom Vaughn says, I really like this channel for info. Also, Common Sense Christian Financial.
Common Sense Christian Financial.
I would even add encouragement to it.
Yeah, financial encouragement.
Yeah, financial encouragement.
I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is financial advice. And even if I was a financial advisor, I'm not your financial advisor. So that is that.
That is there.
Technically, you're paying me through the viewing of your ads. So I thank you for that. But you're not paying me for financial advice.
Okay, Noah had a question earlier and asked, what do you guys think of Britannia Gold gram bars? Would you buy the 1 gram Britannia Gold bars?
I love the Britannia bars. 1 gram, all the gold and even the silver. I love Britannia. Unfortunately, our wholesaler doesn't add the premium to them that online does. So because of that, they're just considered generic 1 gram, generic 10-ounce bar, stuff like that. So I wouldn't go out of my way personally. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it. But if I'm choosing between a Britannia and another one, absolutely would buy Britannia.
Yeah. Silver Servants asks, I've been curious and think that the dealer that he uses to send in the coin is $50 is what, like, to get it graded, and he uses NGC.
Oh, NGC. So, even like this gray sheet, the way they price it is slightly different between PCGS and NGC. PCGS is considered to have a higher standard, but it is cheaper to grade with NGC. So that's kind of the pros and cons that you play with. This sheet, specifically the physical one, doesn't specify, but their online version does. And the online version is updated by the minute, like Spot. So it's not... Okay.
What? You just keep, like, burping and making mouth noises, and I'm
trying to not, but...
Okay. Just
I gotta burp.
Okay, Stack Daddy has asked a few times, and not that I'm ignoring him, but he asked, and so I'm going to say it out loud. He says, did they figure out why you passed out driving, and how's your health?
No one's figured out why I passed out driving. Honestly, I think it was some divine healing. I think, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. They didn't say it was a tumor. They said it was a mass, but a mass is a tumor. So I had that mass in my brain. They found it on multiple MRIs, and then once I passed out behind the wheel, I got in an accident. I was rushed to the hospital. I had a CT scan, and the mass was gone. I highly believe that, and I had multiple MRIs later confirmed that it was gone.
Yeah.
So I believe that God removed that tumor from my brain, and that's what resulted in the blackout episode. No amount of medicine will ever prove or disprove that. So, like modern medicine is what I mean. No amount of testing. All they know is that the mass is gone. So
I remember that when the doctor. So he went straight to the stroke unit, and so we had to go to a specific hospital for the stroke unit to have the CT scan. Then it was like 6 hours later, I was in this ER, and I'm like, dude, what's taking so long? And this nurse finally said, ma'am, if it was something major and, like, obviously we'd be rushed to a different situation. I said, okay, but, like, give me answers. Like, I need to talk to the doctor of, like, what's going on. So 6 hours total of us waiting around. Finally, the doctor comes in.
And mind you, during these 6 hours, I cannot see anything out of my right eye.
Yeah, because
it's complete blackness. No, well, it wasn't even that. Like, if I opened it, like held it open, there was no light coming in.
Yeah.
Couldn't see anything out of my right eye for 12 hours. I left the hospital with no vision in my right eye. Yeah. It was one of the scariest points of my life, honestly.
100%. So the doctor comes in finally, and then he was like, so everyone says that you have, like, this brain tumor. What are you talking about? And we're like, what are you talking about? He's like, there's no residue or no inkling of brain tumor or brain mass or whatever going on. He's like, I'm confused of why everyone's panicking about it. And I literally laughed and said, well, that was God. And then the doctor, like, turned to me, because he wasn't talking to me, he was talking to Joseph. And he just, like, looked at me like, yeah, okay, crazy lady. And then I said it again. I said, no, that's 100% God healing my husband. I don't care what you say from this point on. It was God. So continue.
Yeah, so that's what I believe happened with the crash, the blackout. Yeah. As far as my health, I now wear these glasses. My vision has been restored to an extent.
Oh, those are dirty.
Yeah, they're a little, I need to clean them. But this morning, actually, I woke up to do my video. I normally wake up at 3:30. From 4 o'clock to 7, I make my video. I woke up to do my video, the part 5 of the Foundations of Wealth, a series that I'm doing. And I had a really painful, dull pain right behind my eye. And it's the first time that has hurt at all in like 6 months. Mm-hmm. So immediately I was like, okay, I can't just push through this one. I gotta take a moment, go back to sleep. Yeah. And just rest. So that's what I did. I woke up feeling a lot better. But that's why today you're not going to get a video. Sorry. The final video for Foundations of Wealth will be published tomorrow. So I just listened to my body, took an extra day, an extra hours of sleep, and yeah, we're just listening to my body as much as I can. So that's how my health is going at the moment.
You've also started running again too.
Right.
So
I started running again. I stepped on a scale a couple weeks ago and found out that I am the least fit I've ever been in my life. Because I've been working a lot, making the videos, working at my coin shop. I spend time with the family. I'm not exercising like I used to. This is my first
desk job.
My first desk job, and I've had it for almost a year. So obviously some weight gain, stuff like that. I said I finally hit my freshman 15, just like 14, 15 years late.
Yeah.
So that's where I am right now as far as my health. So I'm getting back into exercise, and I might even start talking a little bit about that on my channel. Probably not. It's part of my journey, so I might just keep that to myself. Maybe if you guys want some information on that, what I'm doing, how that's going, absolutely, I'll answer questions on lives and stuff. But last night I ran 2 miles, was totally gassed on the way back, and then my wife had told me, hey, we just sold our goat. They're going to come by and pick it up right now, so we got to catch this thing. I probably ran another 2 miles trying to catch this dang goat. Was completely exhausted, covered in sweat, and I think that might have another thing to do with it. Maybe dehydration led to some headache
100%.
and specific eye pain. The other thing is I took a shower and didn't put my glasses on after that shower for a couple hours last night. So having some time without my glasses could have caused some of that eye pain, some eye strain.
Yeah.
So it could be a variety of things.
Yeah. Stack Daddy is just giving some information. So I just screenshotted it so we can go back to it. Of like dry eye syndrome ? And get punctual plugs. I don't know what that is.
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. We'll look into that. Thank you.
The catching of the goat was so entertaining.
Oh my gosh, we had 5 adults running after this goat. 6 adults running after this goat. Oh man. And eventually we got it because it ran directly into the person who's picking it up, directly into their car because their headlights were on. And he just smacked the skull into that front end of that car and fell over, and I think was passed out a little bit, like dazed.
It was definitely dazed because me trying to pick her up to hit her into the car was hilarious because like the guy picking her up was like, oh, I'm like, just grab her horns and then you lead her, like she'll be good. And so he did, and he's like, okay, well now you got to pick up the backside of it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. So I start picking up the backside of it, and then she just went stiff, and she's like, she's our special needs goat as it is, and it's just like, oh man.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to lasso. I mean, we are in Texas.
We are in Texas, and honestly, y'all, like, we had the rope tied to the tree, and then we couldn't get it untied. We were a hot mess last night. And then as running through, like, we have untouched land, so tons of vines. We got cut up.
Oh my gosh, these vines had such big thorns, like big thorns that are just like piercing. We're all cut up.
It cut my ankle.
It cut you pretty good.
It cut me pretty good. It was all wrapped up in my clothes. Like, it was so entertaining. And, like, we had our friends over because our friends came over and ran with Joseph. Well, one of the husband did. And so my dad came out and was talking on the phone with my mom and was like, you know what? I gotta go. I gotta record this. This is too funny.
So we do somewhere have a recording of us running around chasing a goat.
I'm sure Sally was laughing at us the entire time. Like, look at these sillies. Anyways, that was our entertainment.
Silly humans.
The silly humans. So it was just a handful of exhaustion things.
Exhaustion,
yeah. Things that probably also didn't help with Joseph's eye this morning. And that's the thing. We're just listening to his body and pivoting on things. Definitely need to have some electrolytes today, too.
For sure.
And take some supplements. But anyways, y'all, like, this is pretty much a wrap up. We got like 5 minutes. And
yeah, see, one last question, or if there's one you saw before.
Not really. Dom Vaughn's, he's got to get going. And thanks for hanging out with us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. It's awesome to have y'all hanging out with us in the morning, and we're planning on making this a regular Saturday morning thing, so definitely keep coming by. I'll keep everyone up to date on what the build out for our shop is looking like, when we're going to open up, and all the things. So definitely thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. You also didn't say your like intro.
Oh my
earlier.
goodness.
Yeah, so
Good
you-
morning. It's today again. Welcome back to Joseph's Reserves. I'm Joseph, and I store 20% of my income in the form of rare coins and precious metals. That's these things.
That's these the things that you see, or if you don't see and you're just going off of listening.
Yeah, if you're just
It's-
listening, it's
it's
the
the
things
things-
you hear.
It's the as you just
Oh gosh, no. I spent some time putting this together.
he did. That's why we were like a few minutes late. Okay, well then do your outro then.
Well, all right. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. And just remember, every ounce adds up. So no matter how small,